Brazil, famous for the Pele and the Neymar, mainly for the football, this time again in the news because of this presidential election. Again, the shoe shiner guy become the president and his name is the Lula. Yes, on Sunday, the left-leaning president of the Brazil, Lula Da Silva, took the oath on office. In the election earlier this year, Lula narrowly defeated Jair Bolsonaro, the right-wing guy. He is currently serving his third term as a president. Despite coming on the top, Lula's victory margin of 2% was the smallest in 30 years. Another problem he has to deal with is some of the Bolsonaro supporters who deny the result of the election. Lula is a working class person. His political success and the popularity over the years has been greatly influenced by his relatability, charisma, and the sincere dedication to Brazil's underprivileged population. Let's see how it is the journey of the Lula. His background is Lula is the one of the 8 children born into the farming family in the northeastern of Brazil. His mother and the 6 siblings moved to the port city of the Santos, which is close to Sao Paulo, when his parents realized they could not support 8 children with their meager income. Later on, they relocated to the Sao Paulo. So that's happened when he was in the child. He has the nearly 7 siblings and his parent has 8 children. So that is a crowded family he has. Initially, he was a shoe shiner on the street of the Sao Paulo. After that, he is also the school dropped out and left school in the 5th grade, and because of he wanted to support the family as they were the poor. Along with the performing various errands, he could also serve as an office boy. So another job of him is office boy. Lula began working in factory as a teen at the age of 70 when he involved in the machine accident, and what happened to him? He lost the left little finger. So that's what happened with him at the age of 17. The 6-person family resided also in the bar's back room, and the bar's back room is used for the people who have the home eating problem or the who has to smoke there. So for that this back room area was used and this family lived there. So that was the struggle he faced during the initial years. Later on, first of all in the kids and at the teen age, he was interested in the football and more than the politics. He was not interested in politics that much. But breaking point come in 1975 when the security forces kidnapped and they tortured Lula's brother, and that make him the anger and make him the think much more, and that's the watershed event in his life. After that, he immersed himself in the labor movement in 1979, led a series of historical strikes, cementing his position as Brazil's most famous union leader. So that was happened in 1979. Later on, he founded the Working Party, named as the Partido dos de Trabalhadores, is the Portuguese name, also known as the Workers' Party, and it was founded in the 1980 by the Lula and other representatives of the various classes like the artists, intellectual, and the public figures. For the Sao Paulo state government, Lula lost his first election in 1982, and after that he thought that he should leave the politics permanently. But what's happened that the Cuba is the communist country, have the leftist government, and his historic leader, the Fidel Castro, said to Lula, "Listen, Lula, you don't have to right to abandon politics. You don't have the right to do this to the working class. Get back into politics." What said the Lula said to him? Castro said to Lula. After that, he came again, and Lula helped Brazil in making their constitution, which strengthened the workers' rights, and he also helped. After that, one thing happened in 1980s that military hold is weakened in country. So later on, it became easy for the Lula to win the Brazilian Congress election 1986, and after that he came in the picture and helped to make the new Brazilian constitution, which helps the workers to strengthen their rights. That's the what the Lula did in the initial years. After that, he fought the election in 1989 election. He lost, but he came again in 1994. He again contested in election but again lost. In 1988, 1998 he again contested but he again lost. So three repeated failure, and after that any man can give up, but Lula never given up. He came again, and the following his election in president He became president in 2002 as the election held on that year with the and he works for the escaping poverty. Later he rose to prominence as an international statement and helped Brazil to win the 2014 World Cup and the 2016 Olympics organizer. So that's what Lula did because of his charisma and all this. Lula is famous for his work and he is considered as the one of the famous and the successful president of the Brazil till ever. During his administration, economy grew rapidly, extended social welfare program helped millions of the Brazilian escape poverty. He did many housing projects, housing schemes, food and education programs. His family allowance program, which drew from the things he himself wished he had as a child, was very well liked and gave targeted families monthly allowance for the food, gas, and education. So that's the happens. But later on, years come and the fall of the Lula started. With approval rating close to 90%, Lula left the office in 2010, but the leftist and his party decades that follow was the brutal. Then after Dilma Rousseff named as the Lula successor, but he was impeached in 2016 because of the corruption charges and the majority of the scandal came outside. Even not this the enough, but the Lula also went to the prison on the charge of the corruptions for the 2 years, and he spent nearly 580 days in this prison when the Bolsonaro, the far right farmer soldier, was the president of the Brazil. But in 2022, the things happen and the Lula returned to the power again, and that's announcing that he is 77 or old and he won't just be of the 2% margin. And the Bolsonaro, the far right wing leader, is not accepting as his win, and he's saying that they are the rigged election, and because of this the 50-50% society is kind of the divided Brazilian society in the both right and left group. That's the issue. Bolsonaro has that's opposition, and Lula has some of the very serious obstacle ahead. He has to fight the corruption, which is the for that his government is the known in the black light. So and he want to grow the Brazil rapidly. He have to fulfill the promises, so he has to lot up to deal with that. What do you think on the Lula? Please mention in the comment section right below. If you thank you for the watching. If you like this video, then please comment and the subscribe in the comment section. Thank you.